Alright everyone, this is a very important video and I wanted to make it as a warning, public service announcement, whatever you want to call it, and I wanted to tell you guys this because they're actually doing something differently with the final boss event we have right now that they haven't actually done before. This is a big mistake that you want to make sure that you do not make, and this is easily something that I could do, so that's why I wanted to make a video, point it out, make sure that you guys don't do it. So it has to do with the final boss shop here, and something that they have actually started to do with final boss Merlin is some items now have a daily limit. They did not have this with the previous final bosses. You could just end up waiting until the very last day and then buy everything out in the shop, but that is no longer the case. And there's some really important items here that do have that daily limit, like the equipment engraving stone. Especially if you're free to play, you don't spend money, or you have a very limited budget, it's very difficult to get these. They're very important, and missing out on a whole bunch of these because you didn't start buying stuff in the final boss shop until close to the end would be absolutely tragic. So make sure that you start buying these as soon as you can. You can still wait a little while. We've got 16 days until the actual shop goes away, but with an item as important as this, you want to make sure to at the least write it down, do what you have to do, and not forget about it. So it's not just the equipment engraving stones here. You can see it's also the treasure chest. It's okay if you end up missing out a few of those. It's not as big of a deal, but for the treasure chests, you actually have to start buying them a little bit earlier, because you can see here, like for the equipment engraving stones, you have the season limit, which is for the entire final boss Merlin, of 5, and a daily limit of 1. So that means that you have to at least start buying them 5 days before the shop closes. But with the treasure chests, they have a daily limit of 3. Remaining in the season 20, that means that you have to start buying them 7 days before the event shop closes, or you won't be able to get them all. Then you've got the chalices. These are 6-star, by the way, not 5-star, so if you need those, 15 points each is a great deal, but once again, you have to start buying them at the minimum 5 days before the event shop closes. And the hammers, same thing, 5 in total, or 50 points each. That's actually pretty pricey, and you got to get them 5 days before the event shop closes. I believe everything else does not have that limit right there. So the boss materials, awakening stones, anvils, you can end up buying those whenever. So, and of course, the actual cosmetics as well. So very important about the final boss shop. They haven't done that before, so make sure that you guys don't make the mistake of just getting all the points and thinking you can clear it all at the end. I know I've done that before, because a lot of the times I don't just want to switch back and forth between the the fight at the shop and then going back to the fight in the shop. So this is something I could easily do. Now, another important thing is the actual ticket event that we have right now. Very similar to the final boss, there are certain things where there is a daily limit. So if you take a look at this blue icon right here, you'll see that infinity sign. That means there's no daily limit. So you don't have to worry about that. You can save your tickets, buy all this stuff with the infinity icon whenever you want to. But a couple of important items like the pendants, which are at the bottom here because I already bought mine. We're actually at the daily reset here in just a couple of minutes. This is usually when I end up recording a lot of my videos, but you can see here that they do have a limit. So make sure that you start buying these. Don't wait until the very last day, or you're going to miss out on a bunch of SSR pendants and SR pendants. I've actually made this mistake before myself as well, so this is why I wanted to bring it up in a video like this. And I don't think there's anything else that has that daily limit. I believe everything else has the actual infinity signs here, right? Even the anvils, yep. It seems like it's just... Oh, I guess the decorations, which I'll talk about in a second here as well. But you can only end up buying one of the decorations anyway, so this one is not as important. But a lot of these decorations are very, very good, so I'll talk about that here in a second. Now, another important thing that has a very short timer that I wanted to bring attention to is something that you can now buy in the coin shop, but it won't actually be there in the coin shop for me because I already have it. So I'm not going to use my coin shop as an example. I'll just show you guys in the actual patch notes that were posted a couple of days ago. Is Sacred Axe Rita. Final Axe Rita has been added to the coin shop. After the 7/6 maintenance until 7/14 can be exchanged for 10 gold coins. So you don't even have to pay SSR coins. It's just 10 gold coins. However, you won't be able to purchase it if you do not have Escanor. But if you do have Escanor and you somehow missed out on the actual event in order to get this, make sure that you guys get it now. I don't know when the next opportunity is going to be, or if they bring it back. It seems like it's limited, so I wouldn't risk it, especially considering that Escanor just really doesn't have that many costumes. costume. So especially his main weapon here, the stats on it are incredible. You don't want to miss out on that. So now getting back to those actual decorations, there's actually 10 of them in total, and 5 of them are quite simply just going to be from logging into the game. We're also getting gems and exchange tickets for weapon costumes, which is great as well. But those of you guys who maybe are not as active, or maybe you main on JP, Global's kind of your side account, just make sure at the very minimum that you guys are logging into the game and getting your check-in rewards, because if you do become more active later on in the future, I know you're going to feel really bad that you missed out on these awesome decorations here. So you start getting them on day 8, then you get them again, another one on day 9, 10, 11, and 12, and they are very nice. Look at that, 6% additional experience from hero potions, increased item storage. This one here gives you more auto clear tickets, gold acquisition from free stages, and this one right here I am super looking forward to. Gives you additional gauge fill for the stuff in Fort Solgris. So I am really, really looking forward to that one right there. And also 30 gems, which is awesome. So that's half of them, but then you get another 5 of them here from the actual exchange shop. So the good news as well is that these are not that expensive. They are only 5 tickets each, and the maximum number of tickets that you can get each day is 50. So in one day, you can actually get all the tickets that you need in order to buy out all of these pieces of furniture here. And once again, they're really nice. So I love the fact that they're giving us all this free furniture. I guess technically not giving us, but it's about as close as it can get. All right, so this one here, 6% friendship points from sending friendship points. That's going to end up being a nice, decent chunk right there as a bonus. Additional affection from conversing with heroes. Deathmatch increase active duration 100 minutes. Now, it's not quite as much as the other one that we got, but if you missed out on it, or you just want it for collection purposes to make your tavern look cooler, you know, it's available right there. And speaking of look cooler, some people have noticed, I know my tavern is a disaster. It looks awful. I get it. Look at this. We've got a weird floor, and then I've got wooden walls here, but then going back to the ceiling, it's a mess. I know. It's kind of a joke between a couple of friends of mine. I'll change it, but I'm aware that my tavern does not look very good. So the last couple here is extra gold from daily tasks and super success when cooking. So I wanted to also point out, with these decorations, the more decorations that we get, you have to learn to manage them a little bit better, because in a lot of cases, you actually do not need to use the same decorations. Oh, I guess it's going to make me do the reset here in the middle of the video. So like the cooking one was a great example, right? Because the other one that I have gives you extra ale each day. Now, I believe I paid 10 gems for this one. I think it was one of the better ones. I didn't buy them all when the game came out, but I bought some of them. But now if you end up getting this cooking one that gives you extra chance at a super success, what you want to do is when you're cooking a bunch of food, just switch over to this effect right here. You don't even have to change the appearance. Just click change effect, do all of your cooking, and then at the end, you can just end up going back and get your extra ale. So as we get more decorations, you just kind of have to learn to manage them a little bit. Some of them you don't have to do that with, but especially if you're all about optimization, min-maxing, all that sort of stuff, it's definitely one of those things that you want to keep at least a little bit of an eye on right there. So getting my dailies, I'll probably do this right after recording the actual video. And another thing that a lot of people have been asking me about is the actual team compositions for Final Boss Merlin and all that sort of stuff. And as I mentioned, what I've been doing is waiting a couple days. I actually have not gone in yet. I know there's already a lot of YouTubers out there making videos and guides, and a general rule of thumb when it comes to me making videos is I try not to do what absolutely everybody else is doing. So I'm sure you guys can find at least some information out there about the final boss right now, but now that it's been a few days, we actually have a bit more detail on the teams that people are using for the top clears here. And surprisingly, it's just the typical mono red team, right? You've got red Escanor, red Arthur, red Gother, and then the fourth unit is, well, technically first is Hauser, but I'm seeing the Twigod takeover here. Look at that. What a world we live in here. So, you know, hey, maybe an opportunity to actually take Twigo up to UR if you haven't already, which I can't imagine anybody hasn't because he's Twigod, but either way, those are the units that we see at the top right there. And what I was thinking of maybe doing is a lot of people have been asking or looking for a way to get a lot of points without Red Escanor. Now, I don't know how many points you're going to be able to get without Red Escanor, because it seems like everybody in the top rankings is using him right now, but you could easily still make a team for farming without Red Escanor. You probably won't be able to get a ton of points on the highest difficulty, but you'll at least be able to clear out the entire shop. And they've also redone the actual, top ranking rewards a little bit, so that there's not as much pressure to get the top 5% this time as there has been for the last ones. I think all the good rewards now are in the top 15%. So the last thing I want to end off the video on is the actual banner here. Still getting some rollover questions of people asking me, what's going on? Is it worth it? Should I save? And the one thing I want to point out is the actual units besides Escanor, guys. This banner, very similar to the Red King banner. I mean, they put a lot of not super great units in here. There's still some okay ones, but there's nothing really too insanely exceptional other than Red Escanor himself. Even Galad, you could... I won't get into it right now, especially after my last summoning video, which I'm not going to say any spoilers, but if you guys haven't seen it, 30-minute summoning session, it'll either make your day a lot better or a lot worse. That's all I'm going to say about that. But stay the course. If you guys are free to play, I would honestly skip at this point, especially with the summons that I did earlier. All right, I'm saying too much, but I would definitely skip at this point. Save it for the future, especially with the pace of the game has been going. Escanor will be in the coin shop eventually, and there's going to be opportunities in the future where you'll feel like you get a lot more value for the actual gems that you spend on the banner. This banner is really all about if you want Escanor. I'm not going to say don't summon, because Escanor is Escanor, but in terms of value, you're not going to quite get that really good feeling that you got with, like, the Blue Lilia banner, for example. So, anyway, that's going to be it. I wanted to fit all the important stuff that I wasn't able to into this video, because unfortunately today my power went out, and then after it came back, my internet got cut out for a while. So haven't been as active today as I wanted to, especially with all the crazy stuff we've got. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this warning, public service announcement, and update video on what's going on. So if you guys did, and you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to leave a quick like as well. It means more than you can imagine. So thank you so much to all of you guys who decide to do that. And more Grand Cross Global videos should be popping up on the screen right about now. Feel free to leave a like as well. It means more than you can imagine. There also might be videos in the suggested to your right or below, guides, tutorials, all that fun stuff, just like this video. And don't forget to check out that summoning session as well. Thanks again, everyone. And until next time, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.